Well, a limp end to what was a thrilling campaign for India at this World Cup, but they will readily admit that they were the second best team in this game. Australia were always ahead of the game. You always sensed India were chasing it, especially at that point where Stephen Smith and Aaron Finch got together in a partnership. You knew then that Australia were going to get a pretty big score. And although there was a blip when Smith went, and right after that, Aaron Finch and Glenn Maxwell went, that Australia felt was stumbling a little bit, but they had the options, the attacking options with the batsmen to keep getting the runs at a brisk pace. Shane Watson played an invaluable innings, as did Mitchell Johnson towards the end, and that carried the total to a point where it became very difficult in a World Cup semi-final to chase down. How could India have chased that total down? The only way was to get off to a Brendan McCullum kind of start, the kind he got in the game against South Africa in the other semi-final. Shikhar Dhawan threatened for a while to do that, but then got out to what was a good shot, but he picked out the fielder in the deep. And at that point, you felt that with this Australian attack, India were again in a position from where it was going to be very difficult. Then wickets kept falling, and as the asking rate climbs, that's what scoreboard pressure is in this game. It puts enormous amount of pressure on the lower order, and the game was really finished. MS Dhoni was not going to be able to pull off one of their miracle acts. Australia in the final, and really we've got a final between the two most deserving teams in this competition, and we've got to end by paying tribute to Steve Smith. All summer he's tormented India, and yet again in this big game when India could have made inroads, especially after that Warner wicket, he stepped up and scored at better than a runner ball. Steve Smith is an absolute golden boy for Australia. Don't bet against him getting another big one in the final